Hey, we're back. Yeah, I guess the camera looks pretty good. You can see all the windows and stuff over there, but good enough.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Freemasons podcast with your, I guess, solo host today, Worshipful Brother Ken Tarwood, and I am joined by
Worshipful Brother Joe Pisani.
Worshipful Brother Joe's been on the show several times in the past. I'm sure if you're a follower of the podcast, you've probably witnessed him up here with his guitar, playing a couple songs for us, just kind of strumming around and talking about his Masonic past and his life in general. But he's got a special announcement for us today. But before we get into all of that, I do want to apologize that we have not been creating content in the recent past. That is totally our fault. Life has gotten in the way. Right Worshipful Brother George can't be with us today because he's got some family stuff going on, which is totally cool. Worshipful Brother Joe, I don't know. I didn't reach out to him. That was my bad. But everybody's got stuff going on. It's summertime. You know, we got stuff going on with the kids. We've all got children. So we do apologize that it's taken us a little longer than we expected to get back to you, but our plan is to at least routinely every week or so release some type of content, Masonic or otherwise, maybe a commercial here and there. So definitely bear with us and stay tuned, and we appreciate the continued support. Before we get started, do you have anything to toast with over there? Water, that's kind of...
Yeah.
will sort of work.
Well, we can get something.
We don't have any new reviews to speak of, but there are a few new followers on LinkedIn that I wanted to make sure that we called out.
The lovely assistant. Can you go down into the locker and get a bottle of something?
Oh, my.
Scotch or something. Whatever, something.
It is 10:30 a.m. on a Sunday here on the East Coast of the United States. But
yeah. But in Italy, it's afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if we were in Italy, we'd already be a couple glasses of wine deep right now.
I could have easily been born there, so...
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to say I'm honored to be the catalyst for the Freemasons podcast. Relapse, welcome back.
Relapse.
You guys took a little break. I hope it was good for you. Did some yoga and such.
Relapse is an interesting way to put it. Not inaccurate. All right, let's see who we've got new that is following us here. Let's see if I can figure out where we left off here. This will be interesting. I got to switch to the Freemasons podcast. Error, you've been logged out. Okay, well, too bad. Yep, I don't know why my Instagram isn't working. Well, that's fine. Let me just do this another way.
You ready for hunting season, Ken?
Log straight in here. I don't know, honestly. It's been a while since I practiced with the hunting rifle. Which if I'm not feeling super proficient, I'm not going to go out and hunt an animal with it. You know how it is.
Do you do archery at all, or no?
I have not yet. I don't have an archery stamp on my conservation ID. I'd have to go take the class, which I should do.
Yeah.
So I'm getting old.
I did that one online. I did that one during COVID. I had my firearms, and then I was like, I might as well get now I do probably more archery for deer than firearms.
Yeah.
I still go for pheasant and whatnot with the shotguns, but for the deer, most of the time I'm using archery. I'm using a crossbow. I'm just Big Kev actually just gifted me a compound bow. So
really?
I'm gonna start breaking that in.
Nice. Well,
what did she bring?
Yeah.
What do we got here? Oh boy. That's
okay.
Tough choices. What do we got? Jack Fire? What's the other one?
Those are apparently the only bottles that are in the open lockers right now.
Amsterdam Watermelon. Ooh, I think Jack Fire is the move, right?
Yeah, I guess that's probably what's going to happen.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for that. Unfortunately, for some reason, we had cannons, like really nice podcast shot glasses. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
You've drank out of them before. Yep. They've got like that Hunt for Red October look to them, where they have that like that metal or like pewter outside and the glass goes inside. We lost them. I have no idea what happened to them. When we moved here, all of our equipment came with us except for those glasses. I was very, very disappointed with myself.
Today we got.
Thank you, Allie.
The old-fashioned.
Thank you.
Red Solo cup.
I know. Well, you could use water to toast too, but
That's bad luck.
is it?
Yeah, that's like ancient knowledge.
No.
They've been saying that for a couple thousand years. You can't toast with water.
Okay. Then we will follow that. I don't know why I can't switch to. Oh, those are notifications. Okay. All right. We're getting closer. Freemasons podcast. Okay. And there should be little hearts somewhere. Bear with me, guys. I suck. Okay, here we go. All right. I am going to guess at where we left off, which is probably somewhere around April. So, new followers on Instagram: John Nazer, Brandon Scarston, Aaron Walker, Perry Addis, Cody Fowler. He was already on there. I don't know how. Maybe he restarted following us. Mike Murray, Elmeds, JJ Lang, Deg, George Whitney, Philip Green, Dono, Red Page, Becca, Aaron 4950. Freemasons of CQ. What would CQ be? Can't tell by their profile picture. Wouldn't be Quebec.
No.
I don't know. Well, thank you, brothers. And Surrey Freemasons from across the pond over in England.
Nice.
So thank you, brothers and friends, for
Tally
the support.
ho, tally ho.
Appreciate it. Yes, tally ho. Do you remember how to toast?
It's similar to Table Lodge, right?
It's pretty close. And in fact, usually when we have a table lodge, we screw it up and do the podcast way.
Yeah.
Which then you got like some of the old timers like Marshall Robinson looking at us side-eyed like, what's wrong with these guys? Why are four of them having the same hallucination at the same time? But yeah, let's see if we can get it right. I'll lead it. Brother, right hand to arms. Whoops. Ready. Aim. Fire. Good fire. Fire all. That's some fire. Together, brother.
Too much sugar.
Vivat! Vivat! Vivat!
How's that?
Close.
How's Table Lodge supposed to go? Oh, we do the.
Yeah, we usually don't show the audience what the actual table lodge ritual is. That's why we modified it. But yes, there's that extra part.
They can just watch the
little bit more
the
floor
Simpsons.
work.
The Simpsons tells all.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but yeah, I don't think. So we don't do the claps either. Right. So I think that was the thing that threw Marshall off last time. But at any rate, I don't know. It's always fun. I love a good table lodge, and I think we got another one planned for the fall, which is awesome. Can't wait for that. All right.
Always
So
a good time.
yeah, without further ado, so we've been doing a lot lately. Obviously with our families and everything, and summer barbecues and all that kind of crap, it's taken us away from the podcast. So we've been doing a lot of work around the lodge room too, haven't we, Joey?
Oh yeah.
So we'll have to post some pictures as well. I don't have any that I can kind of throw up and overlay right now, but there's been a lot of work that we've done in the exterior of our building, but here at Harmony Lodge, the Waterbury Masonic Temple, we've also completely ripped apart and gutted our lodge room, which we have not done
30 years.
Yeah,
30
since
years.
we moved into this building in the 90s, which is
Almost as long as I've been
remarkable.
alive is the last time that carpet was touched.
Yep.
You know?
So this was, and I think we've talked about this previously, this used to be the old First Congregational Church up here in Town Plot, Waterbury. The church itself was built in the 1920s, and then I believe in the early 90s, maybe the late 80s, we moved out of what's now the Mattatuck Museum downtown, and as a lodge took over this building, which was up for sale. So at that time, we renovated the lodge room, and it has not been touched since.
It was cool, but it was, it needed some love. We never even, rarely rug doctored it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it had a lot of foot traffic. It was cool because it was red, and most lodges don't have the red interior. It's a blue or some kind of variation of that. So I liked how ours was red, but now it's blue. It looks brand new. It's beautiful. New chairs, new tile floor.
Yep.
Me and Ken were, helping another brother lay all that tile. And
Good old brother Eric, shout out to him, man. He
Eric
became
Boger.
our tile contractor de facto.
That's Bogart Angelo.
That's right.
All right.
And he's an engineer, too, by trade. So he was up here with a laser level and all kinds of fancy technology to get the floor oriented just right and dead center in the middle of the room. And yeah, the carpet contractors were super impressed.
Yeah.
They came over and took some measurements. He's like, how'd you get this so centered?
Yeah.
Science.
He's using laser levels. And
Yeah, exactly. Got an aerospace engineer up here design this. So yeah, it's gonna look really, really cool. It smells new up there too. It's got that whole brand new open office kind of smell to it.
Oh.
All the carpet is off gassing, and we've got the black and white mosaic pavement tile, ceramic tile in the center under the altar. So we'll send some pictures to our various social feeds.
It's pretty awesome. I mean, it was long overdue, and that's I'm grateful that it's the kind of lodge we have where. Everybody's, no, it's not stagnant here. Everybody's trying to find a way to make improvements, and we have the type of craft that can actually do some of the work ourselves. So we're not just dishing out, parts of the savings to get things done. Like we'll come in here and actually lay tile and do the landscaping and dig out drainage trenches and whatever we can do that doesn't involve going like 50 feet in the air.
Yeah. We don't want to do that.
That's where we draw the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
We don't need to die for the fraternity.
Yeah, no father of five.
Yeah,
is gonna fall off a scaffolding.
Nope.
We're gonna hire somebody.
But it speaks to like the innate nature of Freemasonry, and that we come from all walks of life, right? We all have different usual vocations. We all do different things for a living. Some guys specialize in HVAC, some guys are business owners, some guys are contractors or laborers. So the cool thing is when we send a message out and we say, hey, we're redoing our lodge room, here's what the tasks are that we need done. Guys show up from some guys that haven't been to lodge in forever will show up and be like, hey man, I got the tool to do that. Yeah. We'll make short work of this.
I just did that in my kitchen last month, and it's like, okay, sweet.
You sent a message out and said who
like,
can.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the cool thing about Masonry, too. You got some really eccentric brothers that are like, oh, yeah, I know how to restore antique clocks. Like, holy shit. Okay, yeah.
It's a hobby of mine.
We got, 3 guys that know how to fix organs? Like, that's, where else do you find that,
Yep.
Go somewhere else and see how many of your friends know how to fix an organ.
Go to an Elks Club and see how many people know how to fix
it's really
1920s organ.
It's really cool,
So. Yeah, I mean it's been great. We are very lucky in the fact that we've got a lot of active brothers. I think when we moved the old chairs out of the old Manchester Lodge, we got rid of all the pews that we had upstairs. Now we've got these nice Masonic chairs, recently reupholstered from a lodge that closed.
They're like auditorium, like stadium chairs. Like you would sit at, at the concert.
And super comfy. And when we sent a call out, like 20 guys showed up, 25 guys. Right, to like take the lodge room apart, and then there were like 15 guys that went the first time to get all the chairs and stuff out of the old lodge and move them over here, and they brought trucks and trailers. I mean, there aren't a lot of lodges that can say that they have that.
Unfortunately,
that
there's
behind
a lot of lodges that are struggling to open because they don't have enough brothers to fill the chairs to do. To do a proper opening in due form, and it's like
let alone renovate their lodge room or the exterior of their building or something like that.
It's tough. What do you do at that point? I'm grateful that we have what we have here, and if we always get brothers from other lodges that come and they either affiliate with us or they come right to Harmony and they're like, this is I live close enough for like this is the lodge I want to come to.
Some of them after a work day, like they'll come here and help out, doing some kind of construction crap, and then the next thing you know, we've got a petition. It's like, all right, you did manual labor
now
for this building, and now you want to join it. Okay.
I wish you could see like every lodge in the country, be able to, but
I mean, hopefully things turn around for some of the other lodges in the district and around the world. I hope.
You can't do certain things if you don't have enough active participants, and that's
right.
the harsh reality of
Yep.
it. It's like you have to. So then you have to scale or figure out something to, if you don't have 20 guys showing up to meeting, you're probably not gonna have 20 guys show up to do a work day. You know.
Yeah, and the first priority becomes increasing membership, and you got to do that the right way too. Because I've seen that go wrong.
Yeah, right.
Quantity over quality is never the answer. But
Well, you know, these are all Grand Lodge problems. It's way above my pay grade. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a humble past master who just hangs out, and you know, I do the Garibaldi Club thing. I'm a past president of that, so
Yep.
you know,
You support your Blue Lodge.
you support your Blue Lodge. I do Scottish. Yeah, we're in all of it. We did almost everything together except Scottish Rite. You never.
I never joined Scottish Rite.
You know, but I did every.
There's a lot of people that are very angry about that too, and like continually harass me. Someday, I can't justify adding another body to the list right now. I got a family.
I think the only thing is we're like not as like what, tall cedars, like.
Yeah, eventually we'll do tall cedars together.
I don't know if I will. I have so many other things.
You, me, and Larry Brandolini.
I feel bad because I can't go to most of it. I haven't done any York Rite since we got our commandery degree.
Yeah.
And then I went back twice after that. Maybe I was able to go back. And then after that, I never did. I can't do it. I haven't done anything with York Rite. Scottish Rite a little more than anything else, but same thing with the Shrine. I haven't gone back since I got my fez.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it's hard. It's another 2 days a month, right?
Yeah. It's just impossible.
Different days. It's like Tuesdays or something like that, I think, or Wednesdays for York Rite. But you know, you gotta have. Like you got to have some family days in there too, where it's like you're not going straight from work to some other. And
I record music and make music videos and do all that crazy shit.
Yep.
So,
which is what we're up here today to talk about.
It takes a good chunk of my time. Yep. And I was here a little over a year ago playing guitar when I decided I was gonna actually really pursue it, like take it seriously and not just be a hobbyist. Like, okay, let me try to make some professional quality songs and content and just share it with the world, you know. And
it sounds like you did.
Yeah,
sounds like you achieved that end.
I hope so. I'm happy with it. Everybody that's involved, I have a great team. That's been the coolest thing is it hasn't been a long time, but I've met so many people and gotten close with people that have been in the industry for a long time, like their whole lives, you know. And like my buddy, my producer Billy was like, dude, he's like, we were working with a guy who's been doing it, like he's probably like 10 years older than me. He's been doing it his whole life, comes from it, was signed to a label, has written for major artists, like makes a living on the, like the publishing and like royalties off of how he works on these projects. And Billy's like, this dude doesn't realize you've only been doing this a year, bro. He's like, he's like, which is fucking crazy. That's what he said. He's like, nobody would believe that. He's like, he thinks you're like him, like you've been doing this for 20 years, 30 years. Like, it's like he doesn't realize.
That's remarkable. You're a pretty young guy.
He's like, he doesn't realize you've been at the studio for a year. He's like, but it works because I work, dude. Like when I'm passionate about something, I am all in to the point where it's like I want to be able to proficiently perform at a level where I'm working with people that have more experience than me, and I can actually. It's not a waste of time. I'm actually gaining, and they're actually giving to somebody who's receiving instead of what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's a little Masonic in that way.
It's super Masonic. It's super Masonic. Yeah, Masonry's tremendous because it's in real time, like the kind of organization that practices that as part of its fundamentals. The whole mentorship thing. It's super cool, and that goes with everything. But I think in music, that's a big thing, and it's one of the arts. It's big, it's part of Masonry and Masonic teachings and philosophy. Yep,
you got to learn how to serve before you learn how to lead.
That's yep.
So, what would you? You've been up here and you've played, a couple songs for us before, and I think it's the same kind of genre as the one that you just released. But what would you describe like your style, your genre?
So I'd say it's probably most accurately classified as alt country. Like alternative country,
which is very popular right now.
Super popular. I'm glad that not only country music is popular, but that the genre has broadened. You know what I mean? It's become acceptable now, like where it's crossed over with all different genres. But I was never like a huge fan of like pop country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're from up here. I'm not from the like. And the guys up here, like the kids up here that like that stuff too, like they're from out in the boonies, but like I just don't like a lot of pop stuff in general, dude. Like it's not. I respect the craft and all that, but like it's not my genre. I'm not a, you know what I mean? I'm not a. it's cool in the background for party music. When I listen to music, I'm in that shit. You know what I mean?
It's less.
I'm a Pink Floyd guy.
Yeah.
I'm I'm listening to
Yep.
for the album. Like it's like watching a movie for me. Like I don't want to be bothered by the rest of the. There's a place for all types of music, but like I was never, so I was always more into alternative stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I guess
it's for the artistry, right? All that progressive prog rock stuff. So original country was very focused on the rural kind of upbringing and story and so forth. The thing about alt country is, it seems like you can be from pretty much anywhere, and still have a story to tell in that style, right?
Yeah.
Some people come from like the inner city and do that kind of style, and some people, like you, I mean, you're kind of somewhat rural, I guess, right? You're singing about.
I'm from the city, but I grew up with people that were from the farm. Like my family hunted, fished. They bought. My great grandmother had. Her house, she kept the second plot instead of ever developing it. It was just as a garden so that we could can food and this is all in the city, but that's big for like immigrant populations. You still have that strong connection to like.
And was that in the 1940s, 50s kind of time frame?
She came after World War II. She was stuck over there. She was born as an American citizen.
Yep.
Behind enemy lines and got stuck there until after World War II because her parents had immigrated. My great-great-grandfather got his citizenship in World War I.
Yep.
But back then, a lot of Italians weren't trying to become Americans. They were coming to. It was like how Mexicans and South Americans, come here now. They were here to work, make a shit ton of money, go back, expand their farm, help their family. Like they were. But they had this American citizenship, and then you have World War II, and it's like your kids are born American.
Yeah.
Your family speaks English in Italy, which was rare already for back then, But like now, nobody can know because they'll kill you. Like
right.
you're
Well, the reason I asked that is, that whole victory garden concept where it's like the government was pushing, the Department of Agriculture was pushing everybody to like kind of subsistence farm and stuff during the tail end of World War II.
My family carried that with them because they were in Italy during the war, and like on my father's side, not my great grandmother, my grandmother who's still with us, God bless, she's 90 years old. She lived on the farm back then during the war. My grandfather, my father's father, was from the city, and the people in the city had no food, dude. Like they had fish because it was on the coast, like they could get, but they had nothing else. So she was a little girl, probably like 5 or 6 years old at the time, and my grandfather's older brothers used to come up. They would walk up the mountain to the farm with all kinds of like swag and shit from the city, like, and the daughters of, my great-grandfather, my father's grandfather, they would like barter with the people from the city, would come up with like fine china, or they'd come up with like, my grandmother remembers that she was like, can you get cigars? Because my great-grandfather loved tobacco and cigars. I'm like, yeah, we can get cigars. So like they would buy cigars with eggs and olive oil and flour and sugar.
Yeah.
And all that shit was rationed by the government because it was wartime. Like you weren't supposed to have, only a certain amount. You could keep only a certain amount of your harvest, but all these Italians would have like root cellars that were hidden in like the bog, and they would bury and stash shit. You know what I mean? Because it's like, dude, you're gonna tell me, out of my 12 chickens, you're taking 8 eggs.
Yeah,
like I got 5 kids.
I grew this. That's not freedom.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So all of that came with me. All of that came to me, through my family. It was very direct. I'm not like multiple generations removed like most Americans. You know what I mean? I've been to Italy, where my family's they own a bar and like a gas station and stuff out there, but it's farmland. It's like we're from like the West Virginia part of Italy. My mother's family's from Molise. It's beautiful, but there's nothing there, dude. Like
hence the alt country.
Yeah. So super alt country. I remember going there in 1998 when I was a kid, and my uncle's bar, they had one guitar. And I always loved playing the guitar. I'm not a great guitarist, but I had like a thing, and I was like, "Can I play the guitar?" And I remember my uncle telling me in Italian, like, "Yes, but be very careful because the man with the guitar strings only comes around like every 6 months." And I was like,
Jesus.
"What the fuck?" So if that string broke, there's shit out of luck.
Yeah, exactly. There's no entertainment
this was back
in the bar
then,
at
until
all.
the guy who knew about guitars would come back and like tune it and do all that,
Jeez.
And but it was cool. I remember playing with that little guitar, and then slowly, like everybody, all the local people that hung out at the bar that knew how to play something were coming and picking up like their instrument or pulling out an instrument, and then they all started jamming. And like I obviously stopped playing. I was a little kid, but it got like it got all these people to come, and like they were all playing these songs and. Who played with a harmonica? Yeah, it was cool. It was really cool.
I mean, you don't need a jukebox if you've got that kind of camaraderie. And,
I mean, they got technology and shit like that there now, but it's literally like if you were in the United States and you go out to like Appalachia, that's what it's like.
Yeah.
They're isolated. They live off the land.
A dive bar in West Virginia or something is probably very similar.
There's like 4 bars in the town, and they own one of them. And you know, my Uncle Dominic's out there. Shout out to Uncle Dominic. He's the best, dude. The life of the party. Yeah. He's the best. I love it. I love going out there. I haven't been back in a long time. I would really like to go.
Well,
you know,
maybe it's time.
Soon.
Maybe on your first tour.
They have like this town, Church Major, which is in the province of Campobasso. It's up in the mountains of Molise. So it's like east of Naples, east of Rome. It's still southern Italy, but it's up in the mountains, like in the Apennines, you know. It's very like West Virginia, like, you know.
There's a lot of people from that region that settled here too, right? Because there's a lot of Church of Major.
There's a lot of Church of Major, and then there's
here.
a lot of Pontes. They're from Benevento's, like the next. It's like how New York and Connecticut border, you know. They're right next to each other, but you know, imagine if Connecticut was West Virginia. you know.
Wouldn't be the end of the world for me.
No, I love it, dude. It's great, but you know, it's off the beaten path. There's no like, you know, there's no big like tourist draw there, and that's why I like it more. I think because when I would go to Italy as a kid, like Rome was cool, but it felt like you're in like New York,
right?
In Italy.
Yep.
But the history is incredible. It's thousands of years like that. That's what's special about Rome. And then I go to Calabria, and Calabria is super cool, but it's a totally different vibe than being up like in the mountains and the farmland. Even the farmland in Calabria, where my grandmother's from, in Maiarato, like it's cool, but like it's just different, man. There's like cactuses, and prickly pear and shit. Like it's a different climate. You know what I mean?
It's thousands of years old too. You just don't have like a Colosseum there and all that kind of stuff.
They have some shit like that. Like in Church of Major, there's an old like ruins from a Roman fortress, because that Campobasso means base camp in Italian, and that was like a strategic position. Always for ground forces in the military, even during World War II. That's why my great grandmother, like, she lived in the woods, was displaced like as a refugee for like 2 years of her life.
Wow. As
a child, because the Germans occupied that area because it's had strategic advantage over Rome, and then on the Adriatic side, it's like it's a really important spot. So ever since, you know, times of antiquity, like that part of Italy, for some reason, even though it's very removed and remote, it's militarily
contested
strategic.
Because
super contested.
Wow.
You know,
interesting.
They still unearth like munitions and mines and stuff in the fields when they farm now from World War II.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it's like
that seems to happen a lot around Europe. In France too, I've heard that's still a problem. In Germany, it's it's scary. One of the guys that I work with is French, like French. Like his family immigrated, I don't know, probably when he was like in his teens or something like that, over to the U.S. And he said he used to play in like, you know, caverns and along hillsides and stuff in France growing up, and used to find unexploded munitions.
Yeah.
And like he had to go and report it to like the town constables or whatever.
That shit's
like,
real,
Jesus,
dude.
man. Like, you know, we used to just go out in the woods and ride our bikes, and you were playing with like grenades and potato mashers and
tapping
stuff.
like a mortar with your garden shovel, like
I gotta call the police. Yeah. It's terrifying, man.
Yeah, it's real, dude. It's crazy, and it's crazy because like they also like this is the same places that are making like the best stuff in the world. Like this is the same country that's making Ferraris, and France they're making. You know what I mean? Louis Vuitton, like you're still unearthing mines from you know, an 80-year-old conflict, 70-year-old conflict.
So why don't we get into some music?
Yeah.
What do you say? So this is going to be an interesting exercise here, because we tried this before we started the show, And I think I can switch over and we can watch the video, but I'm going to have to like quickly go in and full screen it because otherwise it's going to be in a tiny little square in the upper right-hand corner. So I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible. Bear with me. Is there anything you want to say to kind of lead us into it, Joey, or you just want to let it play?
This is my debut single. It's actually the first piece of work I've officially released, and super proud of it. It's called John Boat. We got a music video to go with it. I basically wanted to, make a song. Well, let me first start by saying I didn't write the music. Billy Jones wrote the music, and he sent it to me, and he's like, "Bro, I got like the perfect beat made, the perfect song." And he sends me the music, and then I started playing it, and I was like, "Wow, it sounds like the type of song where like you could tell a story, make it kind of cinematic." So then I thought about it, and I decided, I was like, I want to try to write something that can resonate with people in America in general and set it in two different settings within like the same story, So that's where you get the whole country and city thing. And, for a lot of people that live in the cities, there's a lot of people, listen, we're from the north, I lived out in Colorado. I've traveled all over, the United States. Even if there's plenty of people that are living in, Chicago that they hunt, they fish, like they get out of wherever they're living for the weekend, and they go, they still have a strong connection to. They don't necessarily live on a farm or live up in the hills,
Right.
In remote
still appreciate
places,
the
but
outdoors.
like, that's still a part of their lives. It's you know what I mean? Because I think a lot of this stuff is beyond an appreciation, where it's like a part of your identity, like your family identity, your cultural identity. It's passed down to you in some way. A lot of people now, because of the internet, are finding like their way into that without necessarily having people to mentorship and pass it down to them. Like, for me, like as a hunter, a lot of my family that hunted passed away when I was a kid. So,
you didn't learn all of the intricacies.
I never got to crack a beer with my uncle after, what I mean, going, because he died when I was younger, you know what I mean? But I still have that inside me, and I definitely have used the internet as much as I have my other friends and, other people and other guys you meet, even strangers, So I wanted to write a song that basically would be broad enough, but like specific enough that it still captures, the listener's attention. And a lot of the stuff I do like in a cinematic sense. And I think
and it works really well. The video goes very, very well with the song. So.
It's perfect. Like if you listen to it without the video, you can you visualize in your own way the story that's being told, The biggest thing that's come out of this is a lot of people assume it's like a true story from my life, but it's not like directly based on somebody. Like, I had a few people ask me. I said, "Listen, I've lost you
had a rough life.
I've lost a few friends along the way. You know what I mean? But
this is really.
I've had
a story.
friends that lost friends like that. But it's not about anybody specifically. It's not. There is no real grave site of a friend of mine that got shot in front of Nucci's.
Although it's a completely believable story.
Phenomenal grinders.
Oh yeah, Nucci's
in
amazing.
the time period this song is set, it would have been Aventura's. So it would have even been Nucci's. Yeah,
Aventura's is pretty good too. They moved, but they're over in Southington.
Yeah. That's a whole different owner than the original owner.
Oh yeah.
That was like the guy that bought the business. But so what's cool about this video is I wanted to do like a flashback that's part of the story. You guys will see in a minute. And I tried to pay like very close attention to detail so that it feels authentic. And I used, I had my little cousin Antonio did a killer job playing a younger version of my character, me for all intents and purposes. But everything you see in like the flashbacks,
try to make it period correct.
It is period correct down to the detail where I'm wearing a hat that's 10 years naturally aged that I bought 10 years ago. For the younger character, I bought a brand new one. We're wearing the same hat, but mine actually is authentically like
beaten up over
15 years older. Yeah,
that's cool.
And I tried to keep it as close as I could.
And you have a background in film too, so I'm
Yeah.
guessing that's probably where that desire for continuity comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the film background, also working on a super tight budget, so I've
Yeah.
been crafty.
Yeah.
But it works, dude. It's been really well received, and I'm excited to share with the Freemasons podcast.
Well,
You know,
I am looking forward to it. Let me see if I can switch over to it and
right.
if we can do this smoothly.
absolutely.
And I will. I'll drop a link too on our social media feeds after the episode as well.
Much
So,
appreciated.
yeah.
Yeah, Billy Jones, Savino Maluzzo, definitely he helped with the production on this, the backup vocals,
Okay.
mixing. Yeah, he's super talented, dude.
Me and Jumbo on a jumbo, floating on down on a fishing hole. Old boy got the coffin on the old smoke. Little lip of red man for the old throat. Little sip of red wine for the cotton mouth. Homemade grapevine from the old house. Old folks showed the way and they gone now. My turn on the river, hell I give 'em floating on down. Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way that America goes now? Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way that America goes now? Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way that America goes now? Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way that America goes? John and Mrs. Pretty in a Cadillac, riding through the city with a fat stack. Old boy got to eating with the fat cats. All cash looking sharper than a brass tack. Couple more boys got the drop on. 20 minutes later got the cops gone. Mama crying in the kitchen with the water running, wishing that he was with me on a jumbo. Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way that America goes
Big
now?
shout out to
Ain't
Gary
that the
Matthews,
way?
his brother,
Ain't that the
drives
way?
around Quasi.
Ain't that the way that America goes now? Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way that America goes now? Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way that America goes? Land of the stars and stripes, in this land that I live and die. For the fire burning in my mind, my right, my fight, my floating on this jumbo. For the sake of the snake on my left hand, how I had to see the shake of a dead man. For the crying at the wake of your best friend, good times, no lies, floating on this jumbo. Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way that America goes now? Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way that America goes now? Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way that America goes now? Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way that America goes?
Yeah.
Great tune, man.
That's the first.
Great
Thank you. That's the first. That's the debut single ever, but it's the first single off the Holy Land USA LP.
Album that you're now.
Full
That
album.
album hasn't been released yet, right?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
So I haven't released anything. I got Swamp Yankee, the Swamp Yankee EP,
Mhm.
recorded already. I'm gonna release that. I think late fall, early winter.
Okay.
You know, maybe.
Because I was gonna say you've written a lot of songs.
Yeah.
You just wanted to get a single out there.
I've got a few recorded. It's just it's I wanted to release stuff with music videos and with enough content, and I just want to do things the right way. Try to get as much exposure as I can so that I can get as many people to check it out.
Right on.
And yeah, no, I'm super happy that's gonna be a full album. Holy Land's gonna be a full album. Holy Land USA. Swamp Yankee's EP. It's 7 tracks. I love it. Different, a little slightly different sound. I mean, it all sounds like me, but I think Holy Land USA. We're putting a
little different theme to it.
A little more time into it to like build up some of the songs, whereas they're gonna sound like fuller productions with choirs and stuff. And whereas Swamp Yankee is very like grassroots. It's very like you know, like we were saying,
You don't need an orchestra in the background for Swamp Yankee.
Some of them has it, but it's
Yeah.
more of a folk alternative. Like it's very you know, I love you know, I love like the Felice Brothers. You know, I love that band, and you know, groups like that, musicians like that, because it's that raw, like you sound like you're in like a barn room with them. You know, there's that soundscape where then there's like, okay, I sound like, you know, I'm in a hall, or you have something like this where it's super tight, like John Boat's super tight, super crisp, professional, like the beat, everything. It's a lot of people are like, oh, dude, you sound like Everlast.
Yeah, I have heard that even from some of the guys around the lodge. I've heard that.
Yeah, it's I think it's great. I love Everlast, dude. Man,
Yeah, your voice is very similar to that.
Super humbled on it. A lot of my other stuff is not. I guess it's different than this. You know, it's a little different. So my range, I have a broad range. I do a lot of different sounds within the genre.
Definitely noticed that when you've played some of those songs for us. And I love the album names, too. Like Holy Land USA, for those of you who don't know, is right down the street in Waterbury.
Yeah.
It's a very famous kind of replica of
It's a landmark.
the Holy Land.
It's a a Waterbury landmark, a Connecticut landmark, you know. Super unique for us.
Swamp Yankee, that just...
Swamp Yankee, yep.
That evokes a mental image. It's pretty much Joe.
Yeah. That's what it is, man. You know, we like country music up here too. You know, and that's a fact. You know, we're gonna catch a ton of shit, but I love all of that.
Yeah, probably.
You know me, I'm a rabble rouser.
Yep.
I would do just fine if I was born in Texas or Alabama or you know what I mean.
Hey, you're probably not doing art right if you're not creating any kind of controversy in your life.
I
You know what
love
I mean?
it, dude.
You're probably
Because you know what? Everybody's told me that people that enjoy music, like music, and you know, they're gonna love your music, dude. And that I'm so like appreciative and like honored for that, you know. Because that's what I am first and foremost as an artist. I'm always doing weird shit. I'm always working in different mediums, but it's always like trying to be expressive in like the best way possible to the craft, like in the most professional way possible. And I always was strongly like musically inclined, but never gave it the proper like
the
respect
focus
and dedication and focus and the sacrifice, dude. Like I get, you know, you can ask anybody who's pursuing their arts, like it becomes a part of your life where it's like your sacrifice of their parts. You got to put money and time and energy and effort and mental, you know, energy into it. And if it's important to you, you know, and you're good at what you do, then it'll translate into the work. And I think that's what people appreciate, because that's what I appreciate when I listen to
some of these artists that we all, you know,
I love finding new artists before they get like mega famous, and some of their best stuff is when they were coming up, because it's the rawest, and like you know, I figured, listen, if I only get to make these 2 albums in my whole life, like I made these 2 albums and they're badass, and I'll like
good,
them forever.
And you put your heart and soul into it.
Yeah, you know.
Any Masonic allusions in any of the? I mean, in John Boat, I was like listening really closely, and I couldn't find too many. But any Easter eggs that you might have thrown in there? Because I know Freemasonry means a lot to you as well.
Sometimes, nothing that's like specifically. You know, I'm putting this in here because of Freemasonry, but I think in the common vernacular that isn't, you know, American English, we say a lot of Masonic stuff.
Yeah,
your average person has no idea that they're saying something Masonic, but we know.
Yep.
You know, but I think a lot of my subject matter, it does focus around the same concepts that Masonry focuses around. It's all about life and death and growing as a person and like going through your emotions. You know, that's like. That's why I said before, like, not to shit on like pop. There's a place for pop. Like sometimes I don't want to think about anything. I'm
just want to turn your brain off.
Time, and I just want to vibe, right? I have a hard time creating stuff like that. Me personally, as an artist, that is my biggest flaw. Like I have a hard time. All of my shit is like, you know, deep. Even if I present it as like a surface level. It's still like the story and everything in there is like, it's very dramatic. That's that Italian shit, dude. It's just super.
Sooner or later, something Masonic's going to make its way in there, whether purposeful or not.
Yeah, no, it's in there. It's in there. I can't think off the top of my head specifically if I've, you know, but it's definitely in
We'll
there.
challenge all of the listeners to keep their ears open for that. And speaking of which, how could any of our listeners that might be interested in hearing
So John,
this song or following it or following you as an artist to see when you're releasing new stuff, how can they get in touch with you?
John Boat's on all major streaming platforms. If you, I don't know if you use Spotify or Apple Music, it's
YouTube's.
YouTube. It's on YouTube. The music video, it's out there now. I got to the point where like I thought I would be more nervous about doing it, but I was so comfortable with it. I was like, dude, I'm so happy with this. Like, I'm more nervous about is the technology gonna work when with the thing I signed up for to release it, and then it did, and I was like, all right, I can sleep now and go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's terrifying when you get to
yeah.
that point where you're releasing something that you spent that much effort on, and you're like, oh, God, I hope I can just delete
let's
it.
just make sure it just works. Yeah.
Yeah.
It works great, but yeah, I got you can follow me on Instagram if you want to follow me. I got
Nice.
my Joe Pisani music. I also I'm not throwing my personal page out there. People have it. I have more followers on my personal page than my music page, but we're gonna try to change that.
Yeah. Well, if Instagram is your,
I don't want to give Instagram another $15 for another blue check mark.
Well, yeah.
But they know my page is my.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
know it's me.
At Joe Pisani.
There's
At Joe Pisani Music is what they should be looking for.
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe that's the one, right? At Joe Pisani Music. Yeah.
Make sure it's the official one and not one of those knockoff wannabe Joe Pisanis.
Oh my God, dude!
They're coming.
They're gonna be coming, and the scary thing is you won't be able to decipher the real from the fake because I'm that crazy. They're gonna be like, "Was this him?"
Sooner or later, everybody has to deal with that. I don't think there's any fake Freemason. Well, there are
there
some people who
definitely is.
started podcasts and made them very.
We had
Freemason
weirdos
podcasts.
walking into the lodge, saying they became
do
a
have that, yeah.
Freemason online.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, this guy's disturbed.
Or
We're
in
gonna
Russia.
usher him out. The guy in Russia was even weirder, dude.
The guy from Washington State whose face is pasted around on all of our boards, like, do not serve this man.
The internet's crazy.
Yeah.
Plus with AI, it's gonna be a wild world,
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Well.
What we got? What does this say?
Yeah, I just realized that I didn't follow any of the comments. I apologize, brothers. Jim Devaney, you know Jim Devaney. He's a
what
brother
kind of
of
cigar
harmony.
are you smoking in the video?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know.
All right, the young actor smoking a backwoods. Antonio's smoking a backwoods. If I didn't think I was smoking a cigar, I might be holding one on the boat. If so, I was probably smoking a topper. I'm not gonna lie. More likely a topper Connecticut cigar.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the last of the old school OG machine made.
Connecticut wrappers.
It's Connecticut broadleaf. Now that the toppers were always Connecticut broadleaf with a Dominican blend.
Okay.
Back in the day, there used to be. You ever hear of like Moneymaker cigars?
Yeah.
All right, Moneymaker cigars. That was old New Haven shit.
Okay.
Those were cigars that were all over America before it became like practical for the Caribbean cigars to be imported.
Okay.
Up, but like we always grew tobacco in Connecticut, and that was
Windsor Locks. There's still tons of tobacco barns up there.
That was like our cigar, and it was a factory made, machine made cigar, like around turn of the century, Industrial Revolution, and that's what Moneymaker came from. There used to be a ton of them. Judge's Cave, all kinds of shit. Evermore. I used to smoke all these. These were all like old men, like.
Well, it's interesting that the one that you had
racetrack cigars.
Oh yeah.
That's what. Yeah.
It's interesting that the one that you had in the video, though, when most of your thematic material is very patriotic, very U.S., very Waterbury and Connecticut centric. That you have a freaking Connecticut cigar in
It's
your
the
hand.
last one. It's one of the last ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. FD Grave closed. They owned all that, Moneymaker, all that, and then a company I think in Pennsylvania bought all the equipment, and then they make like Tuscarora, something like that. And
Interesting.
I stick with the topper, man. I'll buy the case of those or whatever.
It's a good cigar.
That's the everyday. If you're fishing, that's what you want to smoke anyway. I'm not gonna smoke. I might smoke a Padron on a fishing boat in the rain. I'm crazy, but like that day, it was raining. This whole video, it was supposed to be bad thunderstorms the whole weekend, and we had pockets of like beautiful sunny in between the storms, and that's when we filmed everything. So
yeah, you could see like the clouds in the background.
you could see the clouds in the background. Some things have like a nice sheen, and that was like the water that just hit it. in a quick shower, and then we filmed in the sun, so it gave it this nice glow. Everything just worked perfectly, dude. I'm super grateful for it.
Did come out very, very nice.
Yeah, I can't wait for the next one, you know.
Brother Jim Devaney says archery gets you 3 months in Connecticut. Yeah, that's true. It does extend your season significantly if you're doing archery. Yeah, it's on my list. It's on my list,
I like
Jim.
hunting with a crossbow, and you know, a lot of guys like to break balls and, you know, make fun of me for that. So I want to just.
I mean, look, man, I'm getting old.
I want to put meat
I'll
in the
use
box,
a crossbow.
you
I'm
know?
never going to give you crap about using a crossbow.
I want to put meat in the
easy way to
box.
hunt.
It's so easy. I got a little bipod. It is the most bougie shit, and that's why.
Whatever. I'd be doing the same thing. I'm not going to go out there with a compound bow.
sit there and
or God help me, a straight bow. Like, my shoulder can't take that crap.
I sit there with a mouthful of Zins, you know? And I don't have to do, I just look down.
They don't sponsor us anymore.
But listen, you know, I got to use a regular bow. And I'll probably do it like, maybe I'll, you know, it's a little harder. It's like playing the game the next level up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not playing the entry level like.
Yep.
Crossbow's the entry
a little bit
level.
more technique involved when you're using a traditional
I got
bow.
the crossbow originally because I had the back problems, and I was like, dude, I just want to be able to chill, and a crossbow is the way.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Without destroying yourself just to go hunting.
Yeah. Now I've been, you know, going to the gym a couple years, boxing or whatever. Yeah, I'll screw around with a regular
Now it's
bow.
time.
Yeah. Why not?
Your back's recovered enough.
Why not, dude? You know.
What else we got up here? Good morning, brothers from a deployed location, Wendigo. I don't know who that is, but thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service, bro.
Appreciate that, brother. I think we should toast to him.
We definitely should toast to him.
Why don't we do that?
Even though
It's a nice way to round out the episode, right? We're at like
Yeah.
54 minutes or so. Can't believe we did an hour's worth of content without George here. It's amazing.
I didn't even have to yell once.
No, you didn't.
I hope I kept everybody's attention.
Yeah, that board's been nice and even. I haven't seen a whole lot of yellow on it, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't bring your guitar either. You weren't singing.
Did not bring my guitar.
Next time.
In a month from now, I'll be releasing another song. And I think the next song definitely going to release off the Swamp Yankee EP. And, Swamp Yankee EP will be out before Holy Land. But
fallish, you said?
I want to say late fall, early winter, somewhere around then. Because I want to release it. They told me basically it's better to release more singles before you release whole albums.
Mm-hmm.
I said, sure, whatever you guys want to do.
I mean, that sounds reasonable, yeah.
I'm down for whatever. I listen to everybody's advice. I consider everybody's, you know.
Trickle the content out there.
This stuff, they know more than me. So let's put out the singles, then we'll release Swamp Yankee EP, and then probably put out a couple more singles and drop the full album. I would like to do it around Easter time, you know. That's like big.
That'd be cool.
That's like big for Holy Land. They do the mass up there Easter morning.
Yeah.
You know, I think it'd be a cool time, so.
Maybe get some footage for it for the next music video or something.
Yeah. I think we'll do something cool.
Well, congratulations to you, brother, on your first debut release. I hope it has critical acclaim, as I think everybody in the lodge definitely thinks it's awesome material. So I hope the rest of the community out there says the same. But yes, of course, it is art, and there's always going to be haters when it comes to art. But
I love it.
Yeah, but that does not matter. I think it's good quality content. Well done on that. And to Wendigo, who is out at a deployed location right now and still taking time to watch the stream, which I don't know how you have that amount of time, but we appreciate you, brother. Thank you for your service.
Wendigo, thank you for your service, brother.
Brother Joe, right hand to arms. Ready. Aim. Fire, good fire, fire all. Together, brother. Vivat, vivat, vivat. Thank you for your service, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody. God bless.
Tennessee fire. Ugh.
It's sweet. That's pretty sweet stuff.
Yeah, that hurts at 11 o'clock in the morning. Well, I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank Worshipful Brother Joe for coming up here and allowing us to hear some of his art that he's created and worked hard on over the past several months. We'll be back hopefully within the week with some sort of interesting content for everyone. Even if Joe and George and I aren't up here recording, we'll try to get back in the mix. I know it's been a while. So for the Freemasons podcast, this is Worshipful Brother Ken signing off.
Worshipful Joe Pisani signing off.
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for listening.